Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Booklab. And it's that time of the month when we look at the upcoming releases. And this is for July, the first of two summer episodes. And I've been out with my lantern looking for new releases on the web, in the forest, in the backyards of publishers. And I dug up a few books. We're going to cover topics from how the brain works, Stoicism, wealth creation, crypto markets, and the decline of civilization. It's going to be a bunch of stuff, so let's just jump right into the list. Hi everybody, and hope you enjoy summer. Maybe you came here to look for a summer read, and then you came to the right place, because we'll have a bunch of them. And actually, towards the end, I'm going to share one of my favorite summer reads of all time. Just a quite different book, but that's for the end. We're going to jump into the list. It's July releases that we're talking about. And the first book is How the Mind Changed, a human history of our evolving brain. It comes out on June 12th, 2002. Haha! That's a bummer. I made a mistake. Anyway, books about brains are way too much for us during summer anyway. We want something more chill. Anyway, the next book is actually out this July, and it's Fall of Civilizations, Stories of Greatness and Decline. It's by Paul Cooper, and you need a long vacation for this one because it's racking up almost 800 pages. It's released on July 23rd, and if you follow the channels the last couple of months, I'm really thinking about decline and rise of societies and the transitions between different epochs. So that's why this book caught my attention. Based on the podcast with over 100 million downloads, Falls of Civilization brilliantly explores how a range of ancient societies rose to power and sophistication, and how they tipped over into collapse. This book promises to provide an odyssey of looking at the rise and fall of civilization far and wide in different locations, different eras across history, and it just sounds kind of like a nice but also wild and maybe frightening ride. With meticulous research, breathtaking insights, and dazzling empathic storytelling, historian and novelist Paul Cooper evokes the majesty and jeopardy of these ancient civilizations and asks what it might have felt like to be a person alive at the time to witness the end of their world. I'm trying to be a very positive fellow, but sometimes I get this end of the world type of vibes, and it has happened a lot this year, and that's why this interests me. I need to find some kind of way to navigate through the current landscape of geopolitical madness and other things that we are heading towards. Technology is moving so fast that can bring some fear into one's life as well. So I just need some mindsets and some perspective to guide my brain so that I don't fall victim for any fear, basically. So this is a book me, and probably you too, would get some joy of. It's usually this thing with historical books, they're so usually quite thick, quite dense, but I almost never regretted spending the time on those because it put things in perspective in a very, very good way. And I actually had some struggle this month to do this list. I have more books on the list. I was lucky. I was asking on X, like, oh, what are the releases for this month? I can't really find anything by just Googling around. And luckily, people came to the rescue. I was going back to Instagram. I'm not on Instagram that much anymore. And I saw in my inbox, there was actually 2 people that had reached out to me asking if I could have a look at their book, and they were just so spot on with the topics, so I actually added them to the list. The second book is Stoic Path to Wealth. It's out on July 16th. It's 272 pages. It's by Darius Foroux. And this book caught my attention because I love the Stoics, as you know. I've read like 10, 20 books about Stoicism, but never on the topic of Stoicism plus wealth creation. The Stoics understood that if you can control your reactions and manage your emotions, you can achieve success. The same principles applies to our financial lives these days, and the great investors approach the markets with discipline, emotional distance, and self-mastery. Lessons that the Stoics have been teaching us for thousands of years. This is a great book for me right now. I've been talking more and more about money and wealth creation on this channel, even though it's not totally core to the topics of human nature, psychology, and philosophy, but it's definitely an adjacent topic, and it affects all people, of course. You care about money, I care about money. It's like something that is all-encompassing in a way. So what will this book teach us? Cultivate an investing edge by managing your emotions and developing your unique skills and talents. Develop the discipline to ignore short-term market fluctuations and avoid living in the future. Foster a mindset that allows you to enjoy what you have and avoid greed, and create a sustainable approach to trading. As financial markets become increasingly unpredictable and chaotic, the Stoic path to wealth offers the key to weathering any economic storm while building wealth that will last a lifetime and beyond. So good stuff. And I have recently been more active when it comes to investment, and also fallen down the Bitcoin rabbit hole out of conviction that the technology is good. This is of course not financial advice. But also, oh boy, it's a stormy sea out there. If you're used to like index funds and stuff like that, and you go into Bitcoin, the volatility will take you on a psychological ride that might be too much for you to stomach. So I need some stoicism to keep me on the right course and staying firm in my conviction, regardless of how the market reacts from day to day, and even in the midterm. Because long term, that's where I place my bets. Next book. This is actually a bit of a funny story. This guy reached out to me on Instagram, and I was like, I recognize the face of this guy, and I realized that he has made one of the videos that I put in a very specific folder in my browser. I have a YouTube, it's like a YouTube folder. You don't call them folders, maybe playlists or whatever. And I have one like called the greatest videos of the internet, and I put a few in there every year, not that many. But he was actually in there because he made a great video about thinking from first principles and avoid over complicating things. Something that we do a lot. Is very easy to do. I'm a victim of that kind of behavior. So and I couldn't place it before, and he said, hey, I created a book, you might be interested in it. And I was like, yeah, this is spot on, because I've been in the exploring Web3 technologies, both the crypto and NFT, blockchain, all of that stuff, eventually steering in more into crypto, which is an interesting thing that I explore. And he put out a book called Crypto Confidential: Winning and Losing Millions in the New Frontier of Finance. It's out on June 9th. It's by Nathaniel Eliason, and it's 297 pages long. And this is one of those books that just sounds like something different, a palate cleanser book if you're reading all these quite heavy books like Determined, Finite and Infinite Games, like the psychology and deeper stuff that we use here on the channel. When it's the summer, when you want to sit down in your beach chair and just enjoy a book, it's nice to pick up something completely different. And in this book he shares his experience, his ups and downs from being in the crypto trading market. Crypto Confidential is Nat's unfiltered insider account of the hyperactive, hyper-speculative and hyper-addictive and nearly unregulated, completely insane world being built on the blockchain. A behind-the-scenes expose of the bull run and breakdowns, revealing exactly how the crypto sausage gets made. And another reason I brought this book to the list is because I saw some other videos from this guy, and he's been reading a lot of books, all the right books. I think we have a very, very similar taste in books, and that somehow felt like, okay, this guy seems to know what's up. I could spend some time reading up on this, and also it's a personal interest of mine. A story of getting rich, getting broke, scamming, and getting scammed, and how we can all be more educated participants during the inevitable next bull run, which starts after summer. according to me, a guy on the internet, and it's not financial advice. It's just like, it sounds like a fun, light-hearted book that also will help you explore some of the new frontiers of the internet and the new internet economy that will affect the world. It affects the world, but it will affect the world even more in the future. And I know the list is a bit thin. If I missed anything, please name it in the comment below, and I'll bring it up in the August video. But come on, book publishers, don't hide your books. I've been reading, I'm looking a lot. I'm not a professional researcher or anything, but hey, don't hide your books. Let us give us a way to find them. And if you are any publishers looking at this, contact me if you have a new exciting book coming out. Not shitty books, but good books by good authors, knowledgeable authors. Please let me know. They can be on the show. And the people that watch this, they really like to read, so it's not a bad idea. Don't be shy. I'm trying not to be shy. Don't be shy. I really wish that Brain Book was for this month, because I thought, oh, finally a book that would fit with this audience that I could talk about, because there was a lot of more like financial books here. But yeah, that was from 2002. It's probably good anyway. But yeah, sorry to disappoint you this month. But I'm actually going to bring up one book that I bought. It's a book that I missed last month for some reason. Again, publishers, let me know when you release books. I love to talk about them. Don't be shy. And it's Ryan Holiday's new book, Right Thing, Right Now. It's from the Stoic Virtue series. It's about the virtue of justice, like maybe the most fundamental of the cardinal virtues, because without it, or rather, if you practice it, the other ones comes naturally. Temperance, courage, wisdom, all of these virtues are much easier if you have justice in place. Very shortly, it's a lot like the golden rule. It's treat others as you would like to be treated yourself. I just started the book, and there's something just about his books that I really like. I know they are using the same formula. He has a very specific way of expressing himself, but I wouldn't say soothing, but I find it very, very nice to read or listen to one of his books, get all the concepts that I love reiterated, like filling up on Stoicism. I need to do that from time to time, and I'm really enjoying this book so far. I'm sorry I missed it last month, but hey, I'm just a dude on the internet. I make a lot of mistakes. I want to bring an additional book because it's summer. This was a book that I read a few years ago. It's called The Stranger in the Woods, The Extraordinary Story of the Last True Hermit. And I love hermit stories. I love Into the Wild. It's a great just adventure story. It's also very sad, of course, but it's just like I for some reason I love watching people escape society and live in seclusion. This book is about a guy, I don't remember his name really, Christopher Knight. In 1986, he went into the forest in Maine, and he stayed there for a quarter of a decade. He never lit a fire, he lived in the wood, and this is in Maine, where it's cold as hell in winter. And this is his story, because this journalist interviewed him and did a bunch of research and put together this book about his life in the woods. And you also will get what he learned, his number one lesson from being in the forest for 25 years. And it's a bit of a surprise, but I'll let you read this one and find out yourselves. I have a full review as well, and it's in the description below. And in order to respect you, because of the bad beginning we had of this video with me not being professionally prepared, I also want to share some updates from this book, and it's actually a recommendation. A Deep Utopia. It came out a few months ago. It's by Nick Bostrom, the author of Superintelligence. He's a professor. He is a futurist kind of guy, expert in AI and technology. And this book, he's trying to be less gloomy. He's a gloomy guy sometimes. His predictions about the future are not very bright. But in this book, he examines what needs to happen and in order for us to achieve a utopian future, It's extremely interesting so far. It's the chapters are basically the days of the weeks, and you follow a lecture series that he has, and he has some students as well, and they reflect on the steps that needs to be taken in order for us to live in a utopian future. And it's kind of mind-boggling. There's no lack of imagination here, how far technology can go. So if you like things, predictions about the really, really far future, I mean, in one part of the book he examines like what is the maximum human population physically possible, stuff like that. It's amazing. It's amazing. That's why I love reading books, because I just love thinking, okay, from first principles, how many people can the universe support? That's an interesting thing to me. I hope stuff like that is interesting for you too, and that's why you tune into the Booklab. Like and stuff if you want to help the channel grow. It helps me a lot. And if you haven't found any books here, then I have the playlist with all the other lists, all the other monthly run-throughs or breakdowns. You can check them out, and maybe you can find a book in one of those that will fit your fancy and fit your mood on the beach this summer. Thanks for tuning in, and see you in a bit with the next video. Next video will probably be a review of The Sovereign Individual. I love that book. I'm going to do a review. But I also want to do another great book list review, so let me know in the comments which one you want to do first, and I'll prioritize that. Björn out. Take care.